As ABC News has obtained for the first time ever the videos of convicted Trump aides in their so-called proffer sessions. This is where they're talking to Georgia prosecutors with the outstanding RICO case. We showed you some of Jenna Ellis. You're going to see here Sidney Powell's proffer session as she recounts to Georgia prosecutors how RICO defendant Trump reacted when he was told repeatedly by different aides that he lost.
Were you ever around when anyone told Donald Trump that he had lost the election?
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Pat Cipollone, Eric Hirschman, Derek Lyons all thought he'd lost.
Was that in the December 18th meeting?
Yes.
What was President Trump's reaction when, I guess, this cadre of advisors would say you lost?
It was like, well, they would say that and then they'd walk out and he'd go, see, this is what I deal with all the time.
That new video there airing for the first time tonight. Professor Timothy Snyder is back with us. Any of your thoughts, sir, on what we're seeing there? Sidney Powell was a key figure in what was an organized coup conspiracy, as well as anything you wanted to say about the question I raised before the break. What is the best way to deal with these both authoritarian tactics, what Trump was saying over the weekend, if we want to be part of the rule of law community?
Well, briefly on the video, I mean, it confirms this, this, it reminds us that we're in this world of the big lie. Trump knows he's lying. He's being told he's lying. And the people he draws to him, who are now fighting with each other, like Powell and Giuliani, he's drawing to him this world of fantasists, who are, Powell herself says she didn't really have any evidence. It just kind of felt to her like maybe he had won. But on this larger question, which strikes me as really important, I think there are three things going on in Trump's recent statements that feed on each other. The first level is dehumanizing the opponent, calling people vermin, saying that some people poison the blood of other people. As other historians and commentators have rightly pointed out, that is straight up fascist and Nazi language. But that dehumanization serves a certain political point. It allows you, number two, to say, we have to declare a state of exception. The normal rules don't apply. Something so awful is going on in our country that we have to, for example, invoke the Insurrection Act on day one. And that, in effect, opens a general legal state of exception where you can do whatever you want to do, which, by the way, is also very similar to how Hitler established full power in Germany. And then number three, once you have this general legal state of exception, all kinds of things you can do, but the next step is some kind of physical zone of exception. And again, Mr. Trump has helped us out by saying that he would like to establish a massive series of concentration camps for people he considers to be illegal immigrants. Concentration camps are classical physical zones of exception, physical places that are outside the law. And of course, once you have them for one purpose, it's a pretty small step to start using them for other purposes. So that would be my first summary of the things he said in the last few days.
Very important, and you're, again, drawing on historical precedent. With that quote, and again, we've discussed when and how we actually show this stuff, it's important enough that people hear. So we have the quote, this is a rally that Trump did over the weekend. This is a kind of a warning for viewers. What you're about to see is what Professor Snyder has given us some context and warning for, this idea of calling other American opponents, people who you disagree with, vermin, and the rest of the way you explained it. So this is Trump at a rally. Let's take a look.
We pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country. The threat from outside forces is far less sinister, dangerous, and grave than the threat from within.
Again, that language of threat, that is what you just warned about. And then in this same concert, right, in concert with that, what we're living through, here's more new that I haven't played yet from the Powell testimony, where, again, we're learning from his own aides about this long-running effort, as you say, to use emergency or exceptional or other excuses, lies, to then justify that which is still unconstitutional, stealing an election. Here's new Sidney Powell.
There was a big shouting match in which Rudy called me every name in the book, and I was the worst lawyer he'd ever seen in his life. There were no circumstances under which he'd work with me on anything. He called me a bitch and I don't know what all. And that's pretty much all I remember.
I have just about 30 seconds, but a final word to you, sir.
Yeah, there are two things that are going on simultaneously here, and they're related. We're learning more about how they tried to overthrow an election they knew they had lost. We've got the rule of law to try to rein that in. The second thing is, whether Trump wins or loses the next election, he's planning to rule beyond the rule of law.